come to a seated position. If you have a block or a blanket or a pillow you can put under your hips and it gives you more ease in the pose, please do so. I'm all about this balance of ease and work. We're looking to find ease in our body. This is the biggest goal of asana practice, is to find ease in our bodies so that we feel comfortable in our bodies, not so that we can put our foot behind our head. You maybe were born that way. I know I could always put my foot behind my head. It didn't make more ease in my body. So what we're looking for now is ease in our body. So finding some ease in this seated position, and if it's impossible to find ease, I suggest finding a new position. And then allowing the eyes to soften, allowing the breath to draw inward, to release outward. And we just trace that breath in and out. And in this vinyasa practice, we place our breath with purpose. And our breath helps to guide our physical bodies, our movements, our stillness. Your next inhale, sweep the arms up. Your exhale, draw your hands into your heart. Bring your thumbs into your heart. Lift your heart into your thumbs. Take an inhale, lift the heart. Maybe lift the gaze up. Exhale, bow the mind to the heart. Round the spine. Inhale, rise. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Again, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, draw to neutral. And then sweep the arms up yet again. Beautiful. If you're new to me, this is little mister. He comes in and out throughout the practice. He likes it when I'm seated. He doesn't like it when I start moving around so much. You're going to bend one elbow. You're just going to guide this elbow inward. Maybe give a little wrapping to this upper arm. And drop the hand behind the neck, behind the back, wherever it wants to go. Your elbow might be out here. That's fine. That's fine. And then rise up both arms, and then right into the other side. Maybe guide the arm a little bit. And then both arms back up. You put about 5 breaths here. If you're sitting cross-legged and you want to switch the cross of your legs, you're welcome to do that. Let the breath support your spine. Even more than a belly breath, breathe into the ribs. Breathe wide, breathe width wide. Use your back ribs to send more energy up the arms through the fingertips. One more inhale. Release the arms. Come onto your hands and your knees, please. And then drop your forearms down to the ground. thumbs toward each other. Spiral your pinky fingers open. Spread the fingers gently, so there's a nice stretch between the fingers and the webbing of the fingers, but you're not, it's not aggressive. It's just a gentle stretch. Tuck the toes, come into a forearm plank. Broaden across the collarbones, spread the shoulder blades, front ribs to back ribs, tailbone toward your heels, and then lightly engage the outer hips inward. If it feels like it's too much to be on your toes, put your knees down. You will still get the benefit of this pose. Slowly lower your hips down, point your toes back. Keep the forearms where they are. Come into Sphinx, pulling the heart forward. Same thing, draw the thumbs gently toward each other and gently spiral the pinky fingers toward the edges of your mat. Feel all your knuckles pressed down, so use your whole hand. Yes, very nice. Keep the tailbone long. Just notice your breath. And then retuck the toes. Start to fire up the legs. And then come right back up into forearm plank. Bring your knees down to the ground. Bring your palms together. Pinky fingers cut down into the ground, thumbs to the sky. See that the elbows are shoulders distance apart, and start to take the heart back toward your legs or toward your belly. And then maybe draw the hands upward, pressing the palms into each other. Perhaps the forehead rests down on the ground. Release the hands around. Tuck your toes. Come into downward facing dog, please. Thumbs draw toward each other. Same energy in the hands you just had. Pinky fingers gently spiraling open. Feel the length of the fingers. Feel the gracefulness in the fingers. You're not gripping the floor. You're just connecting down. The wrists lift lightly. Triceps gently press inward, biceps gently press outward. Allow the ears to drop between the biceps if it's okay, and then feel the tops of the ears stretch toward your thumbs. Lift the crease of the hips and soften the heels toward the ground. Draw a long inhale in. Exhale, right knee into your chest. Step your right foot next to your right hand. Put your left knee down. Release the left toe so the top of the foot is down, and then rise up, Anjaneyasana. So we're not just sinking down, you're pushing into that front foot to lift the pelvis up a bit. And then from that strength, we can sink a little deeper. And if it's okay, bend the right elbow, just like we did seated. Take both arms back up. Stay here, or we're going to push so much into this back foot that the left knee starts to feel light. And you push so much that maybe you lift the knee up off the ground. things at play there, so you don't have to do it at all. Stretch the left big toe back no matter where you are. And then slowly knee comes down, release the hands down. Straighten your right leg, shift your hips back. And then dig this right heel into the ground. And if it's okay, you're just going to take the foot side to side. If it's not okay, you'll stay right in center. And you'll know pretty much right away if that doesn't feel good. And come back to neutral with that leg. Rebend the front leg, tuck the back toes, turn the back heel to the center of your mat. Slide your right arm up onto your right thigh. Take your left hand to the back of your hips. With your left hand, encourage this lengthening in the low back. Send the tailbone toward the left heel. And then with the right arm, push down into the right arm to create, into the leg rather, to create some space between the right rib cage and the right thigh. Whew, my rights and lefts today, this is going to be good. And from that place of creating space, we start to wrap the chest open. We start to wrap the rib cage open, but without losing this connection of lengthening the low back. And so one way to do that is to keep a gentle engagement through the front ribs, through the belly. And then this left arm is going to come straight up to the sky, possibly overhead. Pull your feet toward each other energetically. And then we reverse warrior. Glide it up and back. Press into the right big toe, the base of the big toe, and then gently move that right knee out to the pinky toe. One more inhale. Bring your hands around to the ground. Step back to plank, please. Pause and plank, nice and strong. Toes are strong, hands are strong. Plug the shoulder blades into the back. Inhale, drop straight down, chaturanga or the floor. Cobra or upward facing dog. Yeah, and downward facing dog with your exhale. Pause and breathe here. Just receive that sequence. Draw in a long inhale. Exhale, draw your left knee to your chest. Place your foot next to your left hand, put your right knee down. Release the toes, push into the front foot to rise up on Janayasana. So we find this balance of lifting and sinking, lifting and sinking. Beautiful. Work the back foot. If it's okay, bend the left elbow. You can support with the right hand. And see if with the arms in this position, you can allow the front rib cage to soften a bit, and the back rib cage to expand a bit. Sweep both arms back up. Really press into that back foot. Maybe push so much that the back knee lifts up. So it's the leg of upward facing dog and that back leg. But you don't have to take the knee up unless it feels good. Last inhale. Knee comes down, hands come down, tuck. I'm sorry, don't tuck. Straighten the front leg. Ardha Hanumanasana, drawing back on that left hip. Dig the left heel in. And then maybe consider taking the foot side to side. And it's not just the foot, it travels all the way up the leg. So notice how the shin starts to go side to side. You're coming all the way up into the thigh bone, moving in the hip socket. So this is a good example of seeing how your foot guides your leg in your hip socket. So when we have the foot rooted down, the energy we give the foot helps to guide the leg all the way up. Here we can see it because it's a little more open chain. We have a lot more movement than when the foot's fully rooted down. And then neutralize the leg. Rebend the front leg, tuck the back toes, turn the heel to the middle of the mat. Left arm on your left thigh, right hand to your sacrum. We'll do it exactly like we did on the other side. Encourage this lengthening. Arm can come straight overhead or extending, following that line of energy on that right leg. And you're not resting in the left shoulder. You're pushing down to create space. Create some space here. Energetically draw your feet toward each other. Keeping that strong rooting action in the feet. Glide back. Reverse warrior. Beautiful. Yes, so beautiful.
All right, will do.
Last inhale. Bring the hands around. Step back to plank. Pause for an inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog or cobra. Inhaling. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Pause and breathe. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, bring your feet up to your hands. Lengthen halfway with your inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Press into the feet, stretch the heart forward, stretch the gaze forward, rise to stand with an inhale. And then draw your hands into your heart with your exhale. Pause here. Feel your body stacked up. It doesn't have to be still. You can kind of move around a little bit. Find your center. Feel your whole body breathing. Expanding on the in, contracting on the out. Release the arms down at your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, all the breath out as you fold forward. Inhale, half forward fold. Plant your hands, chaturanga, exhaling. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Soft, steady, even breath. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, rising open, gorgeous. Yes, downward facing dog, exhale. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees, exhale. Feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands drawn to your heart, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Bow, exhale. As an offering, stretch your heart forward, stretch the gaze forward. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise open, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Rise to your toes, inhale. Stretch back, exhale, feet to your hands. Offer your heart, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Rise, inhale. And draw your hands into your heart, exhale. Surya Namaskara A, inhale, rising up. It's more than just exhale, fold, more than just a warm up for the body. Inhale halfway. Chaturanga, exhale. It helps to regulate the breath. It's a moving meditation. Move into downward facing dog. It is a prostration. It's a salutation, a thank you to our sun. It's a moving prayer. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Bow, exhale. Rise, inhale. Draw your hands into your heart, exhale. Last time, rising up. Bowing, exhale. Heart forward. Chaturanga. Move through vinyasa. Meet in down dog. Float your right leg about 5 inches off the floor. It's not very high. Draw the inner right thigh up. Hug the hips in toward each other. Draw your right knee into your chest. Place your foot forward next to the right hand. Crescent pose, rising up. Bend the right elbow. Maybe bring this left hand behind your back. There is never any pressure to get those hands together. If it happens, fantastic. If it doesn't, fantastic. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Maybe lift those toes up. And then put the toes back down, root the back heel down, side angle. So arm can come up to your thigh. Hand can stay at the floor or on a block, and you can roll open here. Reverse warrior. Rise back. Let your breath guide you. We've been here. You know the touch points. Trust that it's in your body. Last breath in. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. And then just float the left leg about 5 inches off the floor. One more inhale. Exhale, knee into chest. Place that foot forward. Crescent pose, rising up. And then option to bend the left elbow. Maybe bring this right hand behind. Maybe bring the hands together. Maybe. Draw the feet toward each other energetically. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Straighten the front leg, option to lift those left toes. Lengthen the spine out. So rather than bowing the nose down into the shin, see if you can find more space in the spine. Pull the feet toward each other and hug that left hip crease back. those back toes awake and alive. And then toes down, heel down, side angle. Open it up. Yes. I feel your breath, I hear it. I do, I swear. In my mind, I'm like feeling the vibe of this whole group together. I feel you breathe for each other. We take this up to reverse warrior. Glide it back, gorgeous, yes. Just one more big breath in. This is in you, sink a little deeper, bring it around, chaturanga, please. You can skip every single chaturanga. Good. Look toward your thumbs. Lift your heels up, don't go anywhere though. Bend your knees. Start to bend the elbows. And then bring your forearms down to the ground. And then re-straighten the legs. If you can, come into dolphin. Let this first one be nice and easy. If there's such a thing in dolphin. Find some ease, how's that? If you feel like your elbows are sliding wide and you just can't keep your foundation under you, consider lacing your hands and using those arm bones to kind of push down. So we're going to try to reverse that entry and make it our exit. So lift your heels, bend your knees, drop your hips a bit, look toward your thumbs, and then see if you can lift up and then come into downward facing dog. Take a little pause. So lifting about 3 feet. Inhale the right leg back. Exhale, knee to your chest, but I want that same level of control. Crescent pose, rise up. Option to bend the right elbow right away. Bring that left hand behind the back if you so choose. Take a breath, lift the heart. And then sink a little deeper. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the toes if you care to. And then side angle, root the feet down. Roll it open. Reverse warrior, inhale. And then bring your hands around. Step back to plank, please. Step to plank, pause. Lift the hips a little bit. Lower down to the forearms. Come into dolphin. Inhale, reverse that out. Shifting forward, come back to plank. Chaturanga. Open and rise. Downward facing dog, exhale. Lots of control. Inhale, left leg straight back about 3 feet. Exhale, knee to chest. Place your left foot forward next to that left hand. Rise to crescent. Option to bend that left elbow. Maybe find that bind. And then open up a little bit more. Release the arms, sweep the gaze up. And release the hands down to the ground. Straighten the front leg, consider lifting the toes. And then side angle, Parshvakonasana, your version. Reverse warrior, inhale. Bring the hands back around. Step to plank. Lift the hips to lower to dolphin. Come back up to plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. So as you know, all things are optional, right? So if that little transition from plank to dolphin isn't working for you, and you're like, it's not going to work today, it's just not going to, you skip it. You hold the plank for the duration. Easy breezy. We're going to do this sequence one more time. Right leg goes back slowly with control. Draw the knee into the chest to place the foot forward. Crescent, inhale. Option to bend that right elbow. Option to find that hands, clasp, lift, sink. Rise, inhale. Hands to the ground, exhale. Inhale, draw up the legs to straighten them. And then exhale, bend, root the feet. Parshva Konasana. Reverse warrior, inhaling. And then release the hands down. Step to plank. Lower the forearms to dolphin. This time inhale the right leg up. So that same sort of like we did just a few inches and then we went a little higher, it's that same level of control. And then consider coming into the left toes. Release the right leg down. Come into plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise and open. Downward facing dog, exhale. Slowly with control, left leg lifts behind. Knee into your chest. Place your left foot next to your left hand. Crescent, inhale. Bend the left elbow if you want. Open, inhale. Sink deeper, exhale. Inhale, hands back to sky. Exhale, hands to the ground. Straighten the front leg with your inhale. Lift the toes if it feels good. And then exhale, root down. Inhale, side angle. Pause here. Reverse it with an inhale. And then bring your hands back around to the ground. Pick up your foot to step to plank. Find dolphin if it's there for you. And then lifting the left leg if you care to. Come high into the right toes. Use your hands. Connect the fingers down. Keep them graceful and long. Thumbs gently draw toward each other. Release the left leg down. Rise to plank, inhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Take a few breaths here. Next inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Look where you're going. Bring your feet to your hands. Halfway inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Guiding this right leg from your foot. Feel the big toe push down. Feel the pinky toe push down. Feel the heel. Pick up your left knee. Cross it over the right. Consider wrapping the legs. Left arm comes under, right arm on top. And we come into Goradasana. Here in Goradasana, you're wrapping in to create stability. Create space and some freedom. So if you can, you're going to keep the arms, okay? You can lose them at any point in time, but if you can, you're going to keep the arms. Slowly unravel the legs. And then feel the inner left thigh start to draw back, coming into standing splits. If you can keep the arms, you will. If you've already lost them, do not worry. Start to bend the standing leg. Maybe bring the elbows to the standing leg's knee, and then stretch the left leg back. Turn the back heel down. Virabhadrasana 1 in the legs. So the back heel is the furthest point to the back of your mat. Your inner left thigh draws back. And then you start to rise up. And you might not have landed where you need your foot to be. And I don't want you to look, I want you to feel. If you feel like you're tight-roped, or that you don't feel like you can find your center, consider maybe moving the right foot a little to the right. work the back leg as strong and straight as you can. So good. Last breath here. Well, with these arms, release the arms. You're still in warrior one. Sweep the arms up. So sorry if you've been here the whole time. You feel like it's not the last breath. I'm aware. Maybe look up. Maybe bring the palms to touch. And then bring your hands to your heart. Turn onto your back toes. Pause here. Hug the right hip in. Draw the belly, the heart, and the crown of the head forward. Keep the gaze down a little bit, but forward of the foot. Step to chair. Arms stretch up. And start to feel the shift into the left leg. Guide the leg from the foot. So use the whole foot. Lift up the right leg, cross it, maybe wrap it. And then right arm under, left arm on top. Garudasana. Allow the shoulder blades to spread. Notice if the right hip is swinging off to the right, and just gently hug it back. You're going to keep the arms if it's okay. And start to unravel. Lead from the inner right thigh, standing splits. If you can keep the arms, you will. Start to bend the standing leg. Woo. Maybe bring the elbows in contact with that knee. That's going to give you more stability on this transition. Back heel roots down. Take your time. Good. And then rise up. Virabhadrasana, one legs. If you need to lose the arms, no big deal. Otherwise, you're still an eagle. Yes. Inner right thigh draws gently back. Sweep the arms up if they're not already there. And then hands into your heart. Turn onto the right toes. And then just pitch yourself forward. Hug that left hip in and back, knee on top of the heel. Gaze a bit forward. Inner right thigh lifting to the sky. And we come back to chair with an inhale. Find your deepest chair. Make your way onto your backs, please. Beautiful. Come all the way down. Bridge pose. Here's how we're going into bridge today. Like robot arms. Fingers to the sky. Thumbs apart, but fingers together. Before you go anywhere, feel the energy of those upper arms from shoulder to elbow. Give you an expansiveness across the chest. And then gently soften the ribs. And then press to rise. Maybe lace the hands behind the hips, or maybe keep your arms here.
draw the shoulders under the body if you've laced your hands. That's the saddest song, I know. I hope no one's going through anything right now in a global pandemic, but it's such a pretty song. So hopefully that didn't bring you down. Release gently down, please. Pick up your knees. Take your hands to the sky. You're going to use your legs to help you come into Navasana. So reach the legs forward. Let that help you on up. Cha-cha. Knees can be bent or legs can be straight. It's your call. Use the back ribs to support you up. Broaden the collarbone. Allow the breath to be smooth. Breathe into the side ribs. Bend your knees. Slowly roll back. We are right back up into bridge pose. Pressing down, lifting up. If you prefer to come into Urdhva Dhanurasana, bring your hands by your ears and shoulders, and then rise from there. Releasing down. Arms to sky, knees lift up. Right back up into boat pose. Yes, yes, yes. Bend the knees, lower down, bridge, upward facing bow. If there's another back bend you'd prefer, go for it. Guide your legs from your feet. And then support. The guidance your feet is trying to give your legs, outer legs gently inward. Last breath in, releasing down. Hands to sky, legs lift up, back up to boat pose. Last one now, last one. Yeah. Cross your shins. Vinyasa if you want it, or just step back to downward facing dog. Otherwise, if you're comfortable going to chaturanga, go for it. And then bring your knees down to the ground. Bring your elbows to the ground, just kind of like we started with the hands up. Thumbs apart, fingers together. And you're just going to move with your breath here. So you're going to inhale, pull the gaze forward, press the heart toward the floor. And then exhale, pull the ribs in, round the back. Think of cat and cow. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All the while, keep your feet actively pressing down. Toes can be pointed back behind you, or they can be tucked into the floor, whatever gives you a stronger sense of stability. Just take a few more rounds here with the breath. Let it move your spine. So you're not matching your breath to the movement, your movement's matching to your breath. Let your breath guide you. Really nice. Yes, yes. Good. Come up. Forearms come down. Come into a forearm plank, please. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Consider closing your eyes. Tune inward to what you're feeling. I'm just going to leave that there for you, for your interpretation. Tune into what you're feeling. One more. Hips slowly down, tops of the feet down. Press down, maybe the elbows hug in, and maybe you press into the fingers so much that the elbows start to lightly lift off the ground. Yeah. Last inhale. Releasing down. Tucking the toes. Coming into dolphin, please. So, few options in dolphin. Arms in parallel, fingers spread. Hands laced. Or maybe the palms come together in prayer and you push the pinky side of that hand down. So play with it. See what works for you today. It's good to mix things up and just take a new approach here and there from what we normally do. And then step the feet a little closer to the elbows. And with an inhale, lift the right leg up. And press the forearms down. Bring the right leg down. Left leg up. Left leg down, knees down, child's pose if it's okay on your body. So we're going to move this into Pincha if it works for you. You can still work just the dolphin preparation for Pincha, which is taking one leg up. You can start by just taking little hops. If you're not sure, by all means use a wall. By all means use a wall. So here's how it's going to look. There's a few different ways to approach this. So I'm going to use the wall so that if you're just sort of delving into this posture, you've got some confidence. You don't want to be too close, otherwise you're just going to knock yourself down. So I like arms in parallel, but you'll play with it. You'll walk your feet in. You'll think of that barely lifting the leg off the ground and then finding the control to take it up. Look a little toward your thumbs. Shift the heart a little forward. Bend the bottom leg and then use the bottom leg to lift you up. And then if you need the wall, it'll be there. But the goal is not to get to the wall, because then look at my spine. So then you want to lift up. And you may or may not find balance today, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can stay in dolphin. You don't have to take it up. You can also take another inversion. So if you prefer to take a handstand or a headstand, whatever suits you today. It's your practice. It's meant to feel good and to create ease in your body. Did I mention that already? It is. And it's not the end product. It's the process that we take here. Getting our body used to new things. And if you've lifted with one leg, give the other leg a little chance. If you're very mobile in splits, you can do less kick and more just tip, where you bring that bottom foot in a little closer to your elbows, you push from the toes gently and just start to lift and find your center, a little bit like a teeter-totter. It's all physics. It's all physics. A little bit of strength, a lot of physics. You've got about 30 more seconds here.
The other key thing, support the body. Front ribs gently to back ribs. I neglected to even address that. But you don't want to clench. There's got to be a little bit of softness. And then child's pose when you are ready, please. And then come to seated, please. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Take your left leg out, draw your right foot in. Nice. Left arm reaches down. Right hand, just gentle pressure into that knee to wrap the chest open. Think of a little bit of Parsvakonasana here, a little bit of side angle where you're opening up here. But instead of really strong sides, here we're getting a nice big side bend. So lift up, lengthen, but then get into those intercostals here. Maybe the arm doesn't feel good overhead. Maybe it feels back, feels better in another configuration. You'll explore this how you need it to be. Allow that right hip to be heavy. But it's okay if it lifts a little from the ground. Don't be rigid in your body, please. With an inhale, we rise up. And let's just reverse that. And see what you are greeted with on your second side. My sides feel very different. Your inhale draws you up. Beautiful. Sitting cross-legged or stacking your shins, 5 breaths on each side. Bringing the torso forward if it feels good. No pressure to do that. And then rise and switch sides. Rise up, both legs out straight. Paschimottanasana, draw forward. Heart forward. Soften and deepen. Doesn't matter if you ever touch your feet. So you'll finish the practice as you would like. I'm going to finish in a seated meditation. If you prefer to come into Shavasana, rise up and then roll down onto your backs. It's your choice where you feel best. And then allow your eyes to soften. Allow your breath to soften. Allow your breath to deepen. If you're in Shavasana, find your way back up to sitting. When you've arrived in a seated position, bring your hands to your heart in prayer. Draw in a long breath. Open your mouth, release it out. Next breath stays inside, inhale. Exhale, bow your mind to your heart. Inhale, rise up, allow your eyes to open gently. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste. If you have any questions, let me know. This is my Munchie Kate. Say hi, bud.
Hi.
Have a great day. I'm here tomorrow at noon and then Thursday 11:30. 2 more days if you want to practice with me. I'm here this week and I'll come up and answer questions if you want to leave anything up there. Unmute yourself. Go for it. Mwah.